Hi everyone, it's Shannon, and today I am going to be showing you my favorite books that I read in 2015. These are my top 10, so I hope you enjoy this video. So these books are in no particular order, they're just my favorites that I read in 2015. That also means they were probably not all of them published in 2015, I just read them this year. I also reorganized my bookshelf by genre yesterday, and so I realized a lot of them are from the same genre, so this shelf is leaning because I pulled all of them out in a stack, so that's why. Without further ado, here are the top 10 books that I read during 2015. The first book I read this year that really had me going, wow, this was amazing, was Dune by Carrie Corp and Lori Langdon, and now I think the third book is out, Shades of Dune, but I read the first two this year, and I really enjoyed these books. They're set in Scotland, and so, well, partially. It's kind of complicated, but oh my goodness, I really enjoyed these, and also the covers are amazing. Not that that really matters with the story, but they still are amazing. Anyway, this book at the end had a cliffhanger, and I was just like, what? I need the next book in my hands, what? And I think all of them are going to do that until the series ends, but it was very amazing. The third book I read this year that really made me amazed was Cinder by Marissa Meyer. I read the first 3 books in this series this year and the novella Fairest, but I own the 4th book now, and I'm going to read that first thing in January. Anyway, this book is a sci-fi futuristic retelling of Cinderella, and it is so intriguing and incredible. I really enjoyed this. There are androids and robots in this world, and each of the books goes into a different part of the world, so it's really cool to be able to see how the author envisioned the future in each of those places. So I highly recommend this. It's amazing. The next book on this list is Silence by Deborah Layton, and oh my goodness, if you haven't read this or heard of this, you need to read it. It's about a girl who is deaf after an accident that she goes through, and she has been singing her whole life. She loves acting and singing and doing musicals, and so when she goes deaf, it kind of is a huge change from where she was before. And this guy has a stutter. He can't speak the normal way as everyone else does, and so what happens is, I don't want to spoil it. Anyway, they end up being able to connect on a different level because they both have these things that are different about them. And this book made me cry. It made me so happy, and you need to read it because, wow. It truly is one of the most amazing books I've ever read, but this year it's definitely one of my favorites. So if you don't know, because I haven't done very many videos on this channel yet, I really love Alice in Wonderland. I think it's just a really creative, cool story. I know there's weird stuff that people say about it, but I think it's really an interesting story. And so I love retellings of it as well. So this year I read Splintered by A.G. Howard, and oh my goodness, this was an amazing retelling. It's kind of in the modern day though, so it's very intriguing. The main character is a descendant of the original Alice, who Lewis Carroll based Alice in Wonderland off of. And so it's just it's pretty crazy and out there, but what do you expect from Alice in Wonderland retellings? Anyway, it's amazing. I read it in like 2 days, I think, and I'm a little bit of a slower reader, even though I read all the time. So this book is one you should definitely pick up. I haven't heard much about it on BookTube, so I'm going to show you it right now, and you should read this. Also, isn't this cover like one of the most beautiful things you've ever seen in your life? It's amazing. So the next series that I read this year is all on my favorites list, basically, but it didn't come out this year. I don't think any of it did. I just read all 3 books this year. And so that is the Anna and the French Kiss series. Oh my goodness, this series is so good. It's so cute, and oh, it just melts my heart. My friend just read the 2nd book, and she's as in love with the characters as I am. But basically, this is a contemporary series where each book is about a different group of characters, but they connect in a way where in each book the other characters from the previous books come back, and it all wraps up in the 3rd book. And it's just so cute. Every book you are just like, oh my goodness, I love this character and this is amazing. All 3 books. It's so good. I didn't really like Lola and the Boy Next Door as much, but I still loved it. And they're amazing books. So if you haven't read Anna and the French Kiss, you should pick it up. It's really cute, and I just adore it. I should review this series because I obviously can't explain it very well at the moment. It's just so good. The next book on my list this year is To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. This book was amazing, and the reason I am showing you the covers through pictures is because I actually only read these books from the library. I don't own them. So anyway, I read this and its partner book, because there are 2 books, it's a duology, and they are both really good. I guess for me, I feel like Jenny Han's endings always leave me a little unsatisfied, so I think this is the only 4-star book on this list. But other than that, I feel like it was a really, really enjoyable read. It made me blush when I was reading it and laugh out loud. Like, even once my teacher was like, that book must be really good because you are laughing. And I'm like, oh, I probably shouldn't be reading this after a test because it's making me laugh out loud. Anyway, it was just so cute. I was giggling and blushing, and it's adorable. So if you haven't read To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han, make sure you pick it up. It's so cute. The next 2 books on my list are actually autobiographies in a way, kind of. They're like memoirs, advice, you know. So the first one of these 2 is Really Professional Internet Person by Jen McAllister. And I know, I feel like YouTubers' books don't really get talked about that much in the BookTube community, which is kind of strange. They should. Anyway, I really love Jen's videos. I think she's hilarious. And so this book was one I stayed up till 2 a.m. reading because it was just hilarious, and there were some parts where it got serious and there was good advice in here. I just think you'll really enjoy this book if you pick it up. Also, I got this signed, I didn't actually go get it signed, but I bought it from Barnes & Noble as a signed copy, and it makes me really happy because I love Jen. I love her videos, and I'm so grateful for that. So, yes, I have 2 copies because one is signed, the other is the one I had before that's not signed. My final favorite book of 2015 is The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson. Oh my goodness, I'm still reading this. I am only, let's see, I can't tell what page it is. It doesn't have a page number. I'm only 64 pages into this book, so that shows you I haven't really gotten that far into it, but I already love it enough that I'm putting it in my 2015 favorites. I don't even know if I'm gonna finish this book this year, but it's just so good that I had to include it. It's like, wow. The main character is a princess, and she's trying to get away from her palace because her parents are forcing her into an arranged marriage with a guy who's much older than she is, and she doesn't really agree with the traditions and all of that from her kingdom. And so she decides to run away with one of her friends who is kind of like, she's working at the palace. And so it's super intriguing and adventurous. And the end papers have these maps on them of the kingdom, so you can see where they are going as they travel and try to get away from the kingdom. It's just super adventurous and intriguing, and I'm sure I'm going to read a lot more of this today. Hopefully I'll finish it before midnight so it counts on this year's Goodreads challenge, right? Right. Those are all my favorite books of 2015. They're my top 10. I really enjoyed these books, and I hope that you enjoyed them too if you read them, and comment down below if you have read them and we can discuss it. I also wanted to say thank you so much for your comments and likes on my last video. I totally didn't expect anyone to see that video yet, so that was really surprising and awesome to see you guys already interacting with me in this community, so thank you for that. That's all for this video. Thank you for coming to watch all of my favorite books of the year. It's really fun to be able to talk about them, so I'm glad you guys are coming to watch, and I hope you have a great 2016. And I'm gonna go edit this video now so that you can see it before 2016 is here, because this is favorite books of 2015. So, bye!